If you knew how powerful you are, you'd never doubt again. Bob Proctor. If you truly knew how powerful you are, you would never waste another second doubting yourself. You would never look outside of yourself for permission. You would never let fear hold you back. You would wake up each morning with fire in your chest, knowing that the life you dream of is not just possible, it's waiting for you to claim it. This idea, one that Bob Proctor shared passionately throughout his life, isn't just motivational fluff. It is one of the deepest truths of success, transformation, and legacy. Whether you're an entrepreneur battling uncertainty, a business owner facing chaos, or an investor navigating risk, your biggest edge has never been outside of you. It's not in the market. It's not in the economy. It's not in your competitors. It's in you. The problem? Most people don't know this, and even fewer believe it. The silent enemy, self-doubt. Self-doubt is subtle. It doesn't always show up as obvious fear. Sometimes it disguises itself as perfectionism, as waiting for the right time. Other times it hides in logic. Let me research more before I start. Or it appears as busyness, constantly doing, never creating. But make no mistake, doubt is a thief. It steals dreams. It delays action. It quietly kills momentum. And it robs you of the one thing you need most to succeed: belief. Ask yourself honestly, how many opportunities have you let pass because you didn't think you were ready? How many times have you downplayed your ambition to avoid criticism? How often have you settled for less, just because something inside you whispered, "Who do you think you are?" Bob Proctor understood this intimately. He often said, "You were born rich, not in terms of money, but in potential, in capacity, in creativity, in ideas. You are sitting on a gold mine, and yet, most people are digging in someone else's land, conditioned to forget." From a young age, we are taught to play small. Don't speak too loudly. Don't dream too big. Be realistic. Be grateful for what you have. Gratitude is powerful, but not when it becomes a cage. Realism has its place, but not when it turns into resignation. Society programs us to believe that only a few people are meant to be wealthy, influential, or fulfilled. That success is reserved for the talented, the connected, or the lucky. And so, most people shrink. They aim lower. They blend in. They wait. And in that waiting, they forget. They forget the ideas that once lit them up. They forget the courage they once had. They forget that the power to change their lives has always been inside them. This is not by accident. It's by design. But once you wake up to the truth, once you remember who you are, you become unstoppable. Understanding power the Bob Proctor way. Bob Proctor was a master of reminding people of their power. He wasn't flashy. He didn't shout. He didn't hype. He spoke with calm certainty, with clarity, and with a deep understanding of the universal laws that govern our lives. He believed and proved that we become what we think about, that thoughts are things, that energy follows intention, that our inner world creates our outer reality. He often said, "You are the only problem you will ever have, and you are the only solution." Let that sink in. It means your income, your business growth, your impact, your relationships, your freedom. All of it is directly tied to how you see yourself and how you use your mind. Not your circumstances, not your education, not your past. Your awareness is what makes you powerful. But awareness without application is just potential. Power isn't about control. It's about creation. And most people never use even a fraction of what they're capable of creating because they doubt, delay, or delegate their dreams to someone else's timeline. Your mind is the gateway. Your mind is not a storage unit. It's a factory. It doesn't just remember, it imagines. It doesn't just process, it produces. Your thoughts are not passive. They are creative forces. Every idea, every dream, every decision, it starts in the invisible world of thought and becomes real through action. The question is not whether you are thinking. The question is whether you are thinking deliberately. Bob Proctor used to teach a simple yet revolutionary principle. You become what you think about. This means every doubt you feed becomes a barrier. Every fear you obey becomes a master. But every vision you nurture becomes a seed. And every goal you commit to becomes a blueprint for success. The most dangerous habit of failure is neglecting your thoughts, allowing your mind to be filled by circumstance, opinion, or noise. But when you take back control of your mind, you take back control of your life. The real you vs the conditioned you. There are two versions of you. One is the real you, bold, brilliant, limitless, divinely powerful. The other is the conditioned you, cautious, hesitant, shaped by past pain, driven by external approval. Most people live as the conditioned self. They make decisions based on fear. They look at the past and assume it predicts the future. They listen more to their limitations than their vision. But the real you, the powerful you, already knows what to do. It's the voice that whispers, start the business, ask for the sale, raise your standards, leave what no longer serves you, invest in yourself, think bigger. It doesn't push, it pulls, but doubt drowns it out. To activate the real you, you must stop rehearsing your weaknesses and start practicing your power. Power is not given, it's claimed. No one is going to hand you permission. There is no magical moment when you suddenly become ready. Confidence is not a prerequisite. It's a byproduct of doing the work. Action creates clarity. Action amplifies power. You do not wait to feel powerful. You decide to be powerful. Bob Proctor didn't become a millionaire by luck. He did it by changing his self-image. He went from working dead-end jobs to studying the mind relentlessly. He immersed himself in truth. He disciplined his thoughts. He invested in his growth. He was just committed. So are you willing to commit? Because power is not something you are born with or without. Power is something you build daily, deliberately. Entrepreneurship, the ultimate mirror. If you're an entrepreneur, you already know building a business is not just about strategy. It's about psychology. Your business is a reflection of your mindset. Your income is a reflection of your self-worth. Your team is a reflection of your leadership. Your results are a reflection of your beliefs. The most successful entrepreneurs are not just talented, they are aligned. They believe they are worthy. They take risks others avoid. They think from abundance, not scarcity. They execute from clarity, not confusion. They know the power lies within, not in algorithms, trends, or hacks. So if you want to scale your business, start by scaling your identity. Upgrade your thoughts. Upgrade your standards. Upgrade your circle. Because when you expand your inner world, your outer world follows. Investors know this truth too. If you're an investor, your greatest asset is not capital, it's conviction. The market rewards those who think long-term, who manage emotion, who act based on principles, not panic, who trust their decisions even when the world screams otherwise. Every great investor knows mindset is everything. Because fear clouds judgment, and insecurity leads to reactive behavior. Bob Proctor's philosophy applies here more than ever. Wealth is not just earned, it is magnetized by belief. When you believe you are meant to prosper, not just hope, but truly believe, your decisions reflect that. And so do your results. The power is already yours. You don't need more tips. You don't need another course. You don't need anyone's permission. What you need is to remember who you are. You are here to expand, to create, to lead, to leave a legacy that echoes beyond your years. To become so aligned with your purpose that your presence alone inspires others. To build something that matters. To turn your potential into power, and your power into results. Final thoughts. You are always the answer. You would speak with certainty. You would start the thing you've been postponing. You would see every challenge as a stepping stone. You would stop looking outward and start looking inward. Because the real power doesn't come from what you have, it comes from who you are. And who you are is limitless. This is your time. This is your call. You were born for this. Embrace it, share it, and commit to becoming the version of you that no longer doubts. Because once you do that, nothing will ever be the same again. Subscribe, leave a comment, like this content, share it with someone who needs this message today.